Sometimes a piece of art and a piece of writing, they feel like they were made for each other, like two halves of the same soul. Today, we're going to put them back together. We're going to solve a mystery using the dark, beautiful words of a poem to unlock the secrets of an equally haunting painting. So let's dive in.
First, just take a good long look at this. What does it make you feel? You've got this shrouded, timeless figure holding something. It's sitting at the edge of what could be an ocean, or maybe the end of time itself. It's a total enigma. But we have a clue. A key, actually, that's going to help us unlock what's really going on here.
And here it is. This is the very first line from a poem by Segay Bakırdöven called Eternity. And get this, it was written with this exact painting in mind. These words aren't just describing a scene, they're giving us a direct window into the mind, into the very soul of this mysterious figure. This line alone just sets this intense tone of struggle and pain, right from the get-go.
So the poem doesn't waste any time. It plunges us straight into some really deep philosophical waters. It makes it clear this isn't just about a bad day. No, this is a full-blown crisis of being, a battle between two really powerful ideas. Right away, the poem talks about the infinite vortex of nihilism. That's the idea that life has no meaning, no purpose, no value at all. Just nothing. But then it brings up existentialism, which is kind of the flip side. It agrees the universe might be meaningless, but it argues that it's up to us to create our own meaning. And the poem places our figure right in the chaotic, stormy middle of that epic struggle. I mean, listen to this line. Existential portraits were undressed to eternity? Wow. This just beautifully illustrates that idea of souls being stripped completely bare, forced to confront their own existence against this massive, indifferent backdrop of eternity. Kind of like our figure sitting by the ocean, right?
But the poet doesn't just stick with modern philosophy. To explain this timeless struggle, he reaches way back into the ancient world, and uses Greek mythology as this really powerful symbolic language to talk about destiny and time.
So the poem asks this really critical question. Did you give your soul to Atropos once again? Okay, so in Greek myth, Atropos was one of the three fates. She was the one with the scissors, the one who cut the thread of your life. By asking if this has happened again, the poem is hinting that our figure here is trapped, stuck in a repeating cycle of just giving up and surrendering to fate. Next up, the poem brings in Chronos, the personification of time. But this isn't time as a straight line. No, this is time as a relentless, all-consuming force. The poem says the plane of Chronos has bent, which is such a powerful image. It suggests that for this soul, the past isn't just a memory. It's a prison that time keeps looping back into over and over again. But it's not all darkness and despair. The poem offers this tiny, fragile glimmer of light in the fog, the silhouette of Hemera, the personification of day. Now, this isn't some big, triumphant sunrise. It's more of a fleeting moment, a hint of hope. It suggests that even in all this overwhelming dread, a moment of clarity is possible, even if it's brief. Okay, so you see what's happening. All these pieces, the existential struggle, the myths about fate, the bending of time, they're all building toward the poem's central and, frankly, terrifying idea. This isn't just a single moment of suffering, it's a cosmic trap.
And the poem goes even deeper, mentioning noumenal sense and the collapse of homeostasis. Now, these are complex ideas for sure, but to put it simply, they're about a search for a reality that's beyond our senses and the total breakdown of balance and stability. This being is literally experiencing the collapse of its entire reality.
Which brings us right to the heart of it, the core concept. The prison isn't a place, it's a pattern. It's an eternal loop. And to help us visualize this eternal loop, the poem uses this powerful, ancient symbol, the Ouroboros. You've probably seen it before, the serpent eating its own tail. It's the perfect image of infinity, right? A cycle that just feeds on itself with no beginning and no end, a completely self-contained eternity. So what's powering this eternal cycle? What's the engine? The poem's answer is karma. That inescapable law of cause and effect, where a soul is bound by its own actions, lifetime after lifetime. Each loop is a direct result of the one before it. And that leads to a pretty heavy realization. The trap is self-made. And this is the poem's devastating final question. It's aimed directly at the figure and, well, at us too. As the serpent of eternity coils around you, do you want to drown in the consequences of your past actions all over again? Is there even a choice, or is the drowning just inevitable? Okay, now let's take everything we've just learned from the poem, the struggle, the fate, that endless, terrifying cycle, and let's look back at the painting one last time. With the palm as our guide, the painting's meaning just snaps into focus. It's not just a shrouded figure anymore, is it? It's a portrait of a soul caught in its own Ouroboros, powered by its own karma. The water isn't just water, it's the ocean of eternity. And that thing it's holding? Maybe it's its own soul, or maybe it's the seed of the very next cycle. This is a being defined and imprisoned by its own endless existence.
The artist who created this masterpiece was Zdzislaw Beksinski. He was a master of what people call dystopian surrealism, and his work is just filled with these themes of dread, death, and decay. But what's really fascinating is that he never gave titles to his paintings. He wanted you, the viewer, to bring your own meaning to it. And in this case, a poet did just that, giving a voice to the silent scream he put on the canvas.
So we're left with this question, one that's posed by both the art and the poetry. We usually think of eternity as a reward, right? A divine prize. But what if it's not? What if it's a loop, a cycle of the same struggles, the same consequences over and over and over? Is an endless existence really a blessing, or is it the ultimate curse?